Hello, all you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're doing really good today. Thank you for joining me. And today, and welcome to my subscribers and new visitors. Thank you for being here. If you like the content, please click the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. If you feel you're getting something out of this, I know I am, and others are. Makes me feel real good, especially that I'm growing as a result of this. So anyway, welcome, 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 and thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and read the narrative for today, and for those returning, you know that I've changed the layout, so we're following the number pattern. And in this, isn't it interesting? We got 4, 7, 9, so lower. And then it gets a little higher at 22 and 27, 33, 46, and then 100. So let me read the narrative and bring everyone up to speed, and then I'll show you the cards one at a time as I read the text on them. Okay, this is What Star Are We From? Message from above. Galactic Heritage Cards are used to help us tap into our star lineage and karmic patterns, and also reveal lessons brought to Earth from the stars and how these lessons can be used in our life on Earth now. A star lineage spread more accurately reflects what stellar influences are working with you now in the moment you choose the cards. If you do readings often, the cards may change, but over time, you will notice a pattern that keeps emerging if you are working with the cards in a sincere way. This is a fluid system without fixed positional meanings because it represents the multidimensional and holographic nature of consciousness. Each card has a number, a civilization, a theme, and text that goes with it. The numbering order is based on the journey from unity to polarity, through integration and back to unity. We have 21 different species and 108 cards in this deck. 4 timeline suits, past, present, future, and parallel. The cards are numbered based on the journey from unity to polarity and back to unity, reflecting a universal theme that of a state of oneness, a fragmentation into individuality, and the process of integration back to the state of oneness. Thus, the cards in the lower numbers represent the earliest process of unity, fragmenting into individuality, and the star consciousness who guides us. Early to mid-range numbers represent the physical civilizations. The higher number cards are the reintegration cards, representing a movement of energy from unity to polarity and then to reintegration. Card numbers later in the deck represent the integrative processes of our star family as it moved toward unity. Parallel cards refer to a certain era of that civilization on the card. Future cards are an era of mature civilization, where our extraterrestrial guidance mostly comes. These cards work with your intuition. Now, this is interesting. We have only one brand new message showing up in this layout. We've got a lot showing up for the second time, one for the third time, and one for the fourth time. So, and when we get to card 33, this is the new message, desperation from Zeta Reticuli in the past timeline. Okay, so this is video number 17. I don't know if I said that or not, and thank you for being here. And yes, you can find all of my videos here on my playlist page in my YouTube page on the playlist portion. Look for that tab. It's also in podcast now. Or when you're on the go driving, you can just listen. It's a pretty good listen podcast, I think. Okay, so here we go. Our first card, first message, I should say. First message up is number 4, confusion. Andromeda in the parallel timeline. Love the art. I never knew I would appreciate abstract art, but I really do. I like this. Okay, confusion. Andromeda, parallel. Here we go. Card number 4, message number, I should say message number 4. There you go. Okay. We often feel safe and secure when things stay the same. When things change, we feel a profound sense of disorientation or confusion until we can realign ourselves in the new reality and build a map for navigating it. To help this process, try to see that often the same messages or life lessons are being given to you in different packages. Find the continuity in these different messages, and you will ease the confusion. Confusion is only the fear that you don't have a map for the reality in which you find yourself. The Andromedans are masters of change and rising above confusion. Let their energy guide you. In order to understand this card, you must understand the concepts explained for card 3. That's the change card. And we have had that in recent videos. Okay, I'll continue on. The idea of constant change is actually embraced and understood by Andromedans because they see the fear of change as being connected to the state of attachment. Attachment to things, ideas, or ways of being can deeply hinder awakening and growth. Thus, the Andromedan reality reflects these principles. When we walk down the street, we see a consistent reality that seemingly doesn't change. But Andromedan reality, which is more aligned with the true state of pure consciousness, reality changes constantly as a reflection of the observer. This is true for humans also, but we haven't yet understood this fact. If people cannot or will not embrace change and create a safe harbor or anchor in their own consciousness rather than in the external world, they will experience a profound confusion and fear when reality inevitably changes and they feel lost. They then become distracted by the phenomena, positive or negative, of the manifested 3D world. It is like a compass that has stopped working. They lose touch with their inner senses of direction and focus. This card is speaking about that state. If it comes up in your reading, it is usually a warning to not succumb to this trap of physical reality and to examine your life to see where you have accepted illusion as truth. Once again, there are many Andromedan guides and masters who can assist in this process. Yeah. I know change does feel confusing sometimes, but I'm trying to go with the flow, with the ebb and flow of life. Okay. Now our next message comes through card number 7. Unconditional love. Octarius parallel timeline. Let's look at this art. Isn't that cute? Let's see. What we got up here? Yeah. Looks like like a time clock right there, almost. Yeah. Yeah, art is just really neat. Okay, here we go. What is unconditional love? Human words cannot adequately define it, and its true nature lies beyond human limitations. However, imagine being seen by the universe for who you are, the darkness and the light, and being infinitely loved no matter what. The Arcturus energy is in total balance and loves and supports humanity in this way. It embraces our light and dark sides totally. Now it is time to ask yourself these questions. Am I capable of giving unconditional love? Am I capable of receiving it fully? If the answer is no, find out why not. Those answers will reveal your next spiritual lesson. The Arcturian consciousness is profoundly connected with Earth and has assisted in her development since the planet's inception. Within the card deck now, the Arcturian consciousness represents another phase of fragmentation. Consciousness has not yet manifested as physical and still expresses itself in groups. But this fragmentation plays a very specific role for humans and other group planetary species who still struggle with polarity. This card specifically works with the issue of unconditional love. Ultimately, the universe loves itself unconditionally, but those words actually do not express the pure essence of the idea. Since you are part of the universe, it stands to reason that you, in your true state, love yourself unconditionally too. But once we incarnate as humans, we struggle with accepting and are giving this love. Instead, close ourselves off, not only from the universe, but from ourselves as well. If this card comes up in your reading, it is encouraging you to work with this idea of unconditional love, whether it is self-love or self-accepted or loving others. This is one of those spiritual roadblocks in a sense. We cannot progress in our development if this issue is not addressed and healed. More than any other star energy, the Arcturus energy works with every single human being. Remember, we are all these star energies. They are simply expressing aspects of ourselves within the hologram of creation. Yeah, this love thing is something I'm always working on. Yeah. Hopefully I don't have too much, the darkness. But I try to embrace the light every day. I hope you do too. It'll only lift our planet and our humans, mankind, everyone. Okay, next message is coming through card numbers 9, Balance. Arcturus Parallel. Parallel timeline. Yeah. And see, the energy, Germain, he also, he channeled the art. He channeled every card, every word that we're reading. So this is coming from a higher energy source in us, for darn sure. Okay, balance. Here we go. The Arcturus energy exists with its polarities totally balanced, because one polarity isn't stronger than another. Its energy appears very gentle, but don't let that gentleness fool you. The power of its balanced energy can dramatically open your heart and mind when you connect with it. When you feel the need for balance, call on the Arcturus energy to guide you. Use the colors of pastel pink and pastel green to represent the energy and let it wash over your body. If you choose this card, if you chose this card, the energy of Arcturus is calling you. Open your heart and listen. Even though we are experiencing a reality of polarity as the theme for this journey, there are cosmic guides who still resonate with the frequency of balance and help remind us of our true state of existence. This is one of the primary roles of the Arcturus energy, because they have chosen not to incarnate into the physicality in the same way that humans have. They have retained their original state of purity in which the natural poles are purely balanced. No matter how chaotic our reality becomes, internally or externally, the Arcturus energy is there as a stable healing energy that we can access to help us remember our true state of being. If this card comes up in your reading, see if it connects with other cards in the reading, and then trust your intuition as to how to apply the information. It could be that the card is pointing out your need to bring balance into your life in a certain area, or the card may actually be acknowledging your successful balance in the area of your life. Okay. If you look within and be really honest with yourself, with no self-judgment, you will know what the essence of the message is for you. The balance that this card emphasizes will be different for all. It may have to do with heart, mind, male frequency, fear, love, or another aspect. Let the Arcturian guides assist you in deciphering the meaning and trust what you receive. Yeah, I've been trying to work with the Arcturus energy, or at least, bringing them more into my mind, my consciousness, and being aware of the Arcturus energy, speaking about it more often throughout the day, and to other people about the Arcturus energy. Yeah, what I've learned is the Arcturus energy, they vibrate at the same frequency as the archangels, the Christ energy, hugging right up their neck as close as you can get to the light and the love of the one infinite creator. That's how elevated the frequency and the energy of the Arcturus is, and they are in the parallel timeline. So you might, if you need guidance through the day, you might call on the Arcturus energy, and ask them to help you. Okay, moving on. We've got our next messages coming out in card number 22. Open the page here. There we go. And it is homesickness, Vega civilization in the past. There we go. Yeah, but looks kind of feminine energy to me. But I think feminine energy is, I don't know. That's different. Okay, let's go see what the message is. Let's receive. Here we go, homesickness. The early Vegan mystics retained clear memory of the source from which they fragmented. But as eons passed, that memory faded and was replaced by a profound yet vague feeling of homesickness. One reason why they were so devoted to their spiritual practices was to recapture that feeling of being connected to the source. Even though they understood the reasons for physical existence, there was an underlying desire to return home. If you have this feeling, know that it is an ancient one. It requires you to embrace physical reality, and it is before you can return home. As it is before you can return home. This is an important lesson. So many people on Earth today have a feeling of homesickness, as if Earth isn't home and their true home is somewhere else. While it is easier to believe that this home is another star system with a better society, the underlying homesickness is much deeper than that. It is a longing for belonging and unity, a reflection of our true state of existence as one unified being in creation, looking through an infinite number of eyes. As humans, it can be hard to remember this true unified state, which exists simultaneously with the illusion of separation, while seeing all the hate and confusion on earth at this time. Trying to heal the feeling of homesickness by going somewhere else or living a different life is only a temporary fix and never truly fills the emptiness. The only true home is inside of us, for that is where the source of all creation lies. If you have these feelings in your life, it is strongly suggested that you begin practicing silent meditation, where you can reconnect with the sacred source inside of you. Only then can you feel at home wherever you are. Oh, that was a profound message. Yeah, these first, let's see, 4 cards. Yeah, these first 4 cards here. This is the second time the message has come through. And we're up to 17 videos now. So this top row, the second time we've received that message. And then when we get to the last card, it'll be the second time for ultimate evolution message. Now, this next one I'm about to read, the message in card number 27, is the third time this message is coming through. Okay. And here I go. All right, this one is alienness. Alienness. Look at that. Non-humanoid parallel. I don't know if we could. Yeah. It's really very abstract with squigglies and I don't know. You know, right here, this one looks kind of like a kitty. A little bit like a kitty with something coming off the top. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Here we go with the message. The energy of this card refers to the sense of alienness that many humans have that keeps them from feeling connected to life on planet Earth. Many feel strange in their own skin, as if they came from somewhere else. You may indeed have a connection to non-human beings in the universe, but because you are human in this life, this card asks you to begin embracing your uniqueness and celebrate it rather than fear it or be ashamed of it. If you need help, ask some loving non-human beings to assist you during meditation. Feel their alienness and open your heart to them anyway. You and they are one. This is one of the deck's few archetypical cards that does not necessarily point to a specific species, but rather a state of consciousness that is affecting you now. In terms of our galactic family, It may symbolize a connection to any number of non-humanoid races with whom you may have connections. You may already you may already know who they are. If you don't know, it isn't so important that you do. There are a myriad of non-human species in creation. The main idea is to examine any feelings of alienness that you may have. If not belonging or being different, often this feeling keeps us disconnected from life or gives us excuses not to engage in this reality. Okay. Is there someone in your life who seems alien or different and you are having trouble embracing him or her? How can you engage yourself more in this life on earth? How can you integrate feelings of being different with being part of a global or galactic community? Ultimately, our journey is about integration, and that means embracing all of our parts, even those that seem alien to us. I remember having this feeling before I ever started school. Some of you have heard me say this before. I grew up in a forest, 10-acre forest uh, environment. You know, uh, Started out with like a shack, four walls, roof and all that. Outside plumbing, there was no plumbing. We had a double-seater outhouse, and I remember looking in as Dad and Grandpa were shovels in their hands, were trying to dig a well. Later, Grandpa would well witch using, what we called dowsing rods, but it was a willow branch, cut it just off the property, cut it in the shape of a dowsing tool, and yeah, I watched him douse the water. It was the most incredible thing I'd seen in my life at that time, and I always cherished it, that memory. But yeah, when I'd look around, I saw the animals and the critters and all that. It's like, this is not my natural home. No, it's not. So I very much connect with the alienness card and message in it. Very much. Okay. Card number 33, the message. Desperation from Zeta Reticuli's past. And this card, okay, yeah, this is the new message coming through for us. I haven't had this one before. What is this? Desperation. Look at that. It looks kind of, is that like a beehive thing? No, it's not. Looks like he's standing on a magic carpet, huh? Yeah. Okay, let's hear what the message is that they have for us. Okay. Sometimes when we are in crisis, we make choices from fear and desperation that we later wish we could take back. Yeah. This is true of the Zetas as well. This card also asks you to look at the lessons learned by the Zetas and apply them to your life. Never react from fear or desperation, for those choices will be ones that are not aligned with your higher self. Wait, watch your emotions, feel and embrace them, then let them go. When calmness comes, make your choices from there. If you have already made regrettable choices and it is too late to change them, bless those choices and move on with no regrets. Absolutely. Okay. If you have not yet read or understood the plight of the Zetas, Read the description. Oh, for cards 33, 1, 32. 33, 1, 32. I'll just tell you the time. Okay, survival failures is 30. That message has come through a couple of times at least. The message in card 31 is rejecting emotions. We might have had that one. I'm not real sure. And then 32 is linear thinking. Is the message on that one. Okay, I'm going to continue on here. This card represents the underlying energy from which the Zetas acted in trying to heal their species crisis. Even though they believed they were not connected with their emotions, this collective suppressed emotion of desperation was what drove them to make decisions, and sometimes those decisions were based on fear. I'm going to read that sentence again. Okay, even though they believed they were not connected with their emotions, this collective suppressed emotion of desperation was what drove them to make decisions, and sometimes those decisions were based on fear. If this card came up in your reading, a deep message is given on many levels. It may mean that you have a connection to the Zetas from this era, that you have helped them somehow, perhaps in genetic projects or in understanding emotion, or that you perhaps had a life as a Zeta at that time. It may also mean that you are having ongoing contacts with Zeta from this era. But even deeper than this, it is asking you to look at your own life and how you make decisions. All humans feel desperation at some point in their life. Look at how the issue of desperation plays out in your life and see if you can learn to confront and heal your fears before they get to the stage of desperation and decisions are not made from a healthy place. Yeah, that's a great message. I know I've wrapped myself in that on too many occasions. Such is the journey of life. And I'm working through it. I hope not to have to deal with that desperation feeling again. But, if it does come up, I have to remember not to come from a place of fear, in order to have the best outcome for myself. Okay, now 46, the message Good Intentions, series past. This is the 4th time in 17 videos that this one is coming to us. Oh, it looks like he's got like one of them tubular chemical tubes that you find in a laboratory. He's holding it in his hands. Yeah. Good intentions. Oh, yeah, good intentions in the laboratory. That's just me. That don't mean that's coming through this message, but that's what I'm... Yeah, we've had a lot of laboratories. Oh, there's nothing like an American error. Okay, 46. Let me get to that page. That could take me down a rabbit hole. I don't want to go. All right, here we go. The ancient Syrians had very good intentions when they worked on Earth during the genetic projects. But sometimes good intentions are not enough. Mistakes are made and lessons are learned. Good intentions must be combined with foresight, integrity, and humility. This card asks you to look at the good intentions in your heart about an action you're making and find out how they can be strengthened through honest and my glasses. Through honest and observation, realistic evaluation, and long-term vision. And most importantly, should mistakes be made, remember to forgive yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You can't move forward if you don't forgive yourself. Just keep that in mind. Okay, here we go. This is another card that reflects the challenges that new species have as they begin to mature. Just like Palladians, enthusiasm, desire for service, and good intentions are not enough to ensure evolution. They must be tempered with long-range vision, patience, wisdom, and other traits. This card refers to the good intentions of the Assyrians and other species like the Palladians during the ancient time on Earth when they were interacting with more humans, when interacting with new humans. There you go. These good intentions were admirable, but were often not enough to stop short-sighted mistakes and quick actions that could have been avoided with a little bit of wisdom and patience. Every newly mature species passes through this test, and the Syrians were no different. If you have this card in your spread, it can have several meanings. It could refer to past lives of yours in which you were either a Syrian interacting with Earth or a human who benefited or suffered because of the actions of these young Syrians. Applying it to life now, it could also be giving you advice to look more deeply into your good intentions for actions in life to see if there is a hidden reason for the action that may be more self-serving. It is also challenging you to look at these good intentions and see if down the road these good intentions might actually inadvertently hurt someone else. Part of becoming a self-responsible species is being able to be honest about our intentions and be hesitant to act without full awareness that the action is supported by the universe. Oh yes, thank you. That's a great message. I like that. Okay, now we have Ultimate Evolution 100. This is the second time we're receiving this message in 17 polls here. And this is Zeta Reticuli Future. Interesting. Yeah, the art is just interesting. I like it. Okay, here we go to the message. Hold on just a second here. Here we go. All right. This card represents the birth of a new species, ultimate evolution. The Zetas transform themselves from a species of fear and limitation to one of higher consciousness, compassion, and love. It was not an easy road, but an immensely fulfilling one. Because of this, they can now assist countless other species in their evolution. This card represents your personal evolution. You have the capacity or the capability. You have the capability to make dramatic changes in who you are by walking through the fire, confronting rather than avoiding your fears, asking for help and trusting the process. Your galactic family is with you. You are not alone. This card refers to the Zeta era in which their fears and challenges were behind them and they became an enlightened species. It is also very connected to the preceding card 99, Mirror Reflection. I believe we've had that one too. This card refers to the profound evolution that happens when beings confront their fears and the issues they don't want to see. But if it is much more than confrontation, wait a minute. It says, but it is much more than confrontation. It also has to do with seeing the issues you are avoiding clearly and not looking away while surrendering to the process of owning their presence in your life, embracing them as teachers, having gratitude and never ever judging yourself because of them. This leads to compassion, self-responsibility, self-respect, and the ability to receive and give infinite amounts of unconditional love. This process is so powerful that if everyone in the whole human race were willing to clearly see themselves and do the work necessary for evolution, Earth could transform within a very short amount of time. If this card came up in your spread, it is likely that it is encouraging you to accelerate your evolution by activating this process of clear sight and self-acceptance for the purpose of your evolution. This card may also be acknowledging that you have already begun the process. If you are aware of having connections with the Zeta species, then the card may also be reminding you of those connections. The Zetas, having gone through this process of ultimate evolution, can be wonderful guides along your path. Yeah, that's a good message. I have been working on this. I've been opening myself up to the star people. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, to help me evolve. And I hope to help more people. Those of you that keep coming back. I know we're getting something out of this. We're learning. We're evolving through this. Like I said, I'm opening myself up to the Arcturus energy, especially because of their frequency and their energy. And Zeta Reticuli. I am also warming up to them because this is where the little gray thing and all that comes from. And all these terrible movies and well, the E.T. Come Home, that was a good movie. E.T. That was special. That was beautiful. But there's a lot of movies you put out, that are meant to just scare us. But that's how we are controlled, is by fear. Don't buy into it. Do not buy into it. So anyway, I hope y'all got something good out of this. Found something beneficial. I know I have. I do. I love you all for being here with me. And share. If you know of anybody that's got any kind of open mind at all, share one of the videos in this series. And, it could help them, See who you can help along by sharing a video, And it doesn't have to be for me either. If you know of anyone who needs to be uplifted and you're watching higher consciousness videos, share it, Which reminds me, I've got to share a video I just did yesterday. But somebody's expecting it and they're not into it. And, little by little, I open their minds and their hearts and their souls to new ideas and greater involvement. So anyway, I love you, all of you. I love you, love you. Thank you for being here. Take real good care of yourselves. Remember to breathe, meditate, practice it. It's a practice. I don't know if you ever master it. Well, maybe, if you're at it for 50 years or so. But practice it just 5 minutes at a time. If you don't already, it really, really does help. Okay. I love you all. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Thank you.